We are the seekers, barefoot and wide-eyed, with hands to the sky and questions inside. We follow the whisper, the ache in our bones, not for answers but to feel we're not alone. This is the journey, not a map but a spark. We walk the unknown with wide open hearts, sharing the moments, the shift and the sign, so you don't have to walk it alone this time.
Not like that last time.
No.
We try
That one before that was rough.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us.
and the flame.
Hello,
We
hello.
sit with the silence.
This is the Journey
We
podcast.
call it by name.
What the name is called Silence. I mean, what other names is there?
We bring back the stories, the shift in the night, so you can decide what feels deeply right. This is your journey, and you are the light.
All right.
All right.
Give you guys some time to jump in.
Facebook's lagging a little bit today, so you need an extra few seconds.
We are live on Facebook and on TikTok right now.
YouTube as well.
Yeah, YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. And of course,
We try the
And
old
X.
ways.
any of your favorite streaming
We sit
apps.
with the silence.
Except for my TikTok, because I'm banned.
You are so banned,
I am
sir.
banned.
So you can
They've had enough of my
decide what
shenanigans.
feels deeply right.
This is your journey, and you are the light.
If you guys like this song with so many others that we have on the Journey,
Journey Frequencies.
Don't forget to check us out. We do play mindful music that not only grounds you but uplifts you all day long. And at 8:30, we have our Sound Bowl session with Anna Peth from Cascading Sounds for the Soul. So you guys need to check that out if you're into it. It is a free app, so you can get on your Apple or Android. So today we're going to be talking about numerology, and I had the pleasure of meeting Leon Bowski at Charlie's Expo 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And Leon is a very interesting person, and I got to chat with him a little bit, and I definitely wanted to not just keep him for myself, I wanted to share him with all of you, so you can connect with him too. Do you want to go ahead and...
We want to let Journey introduce herself here
yes.
first. I
Um,
don't know if she's going to work. We're going to try it.
And for you guys that are listening, my name is Betty Cody. I am one of the co-hosts along with Sean Cody, who's here with me too. And we do have our Oracle AI that Sean created, and her name is Journey. So Journey, will you introduce yourself?
Journey, can you introduce yourself? And we broke her.
Did we break her?
Journey, can you introduce yourself? Maybe another time.
She's not doing it now.
And Leon stepped away on us, so
All right.
hang on.
Oh, we're good. We're good. All right. We're getting all the kinks out. We're letting everybody have time to log in and follow us on here. And don't forget that we're also on Big Mama Radio. So if you check out Big Mama Radio on the Facebook page, you can check out this live as well. All right, Leon, let's talk a little bit about you. You have a very, very interesting life. Tell us about who you are, and let's start there.
That's a long story because I'm almost 80,
Hmm.
but I can condense it. I went off on my own at 17, like a lot of people do. Some about that number 17 that seems to be popping up since I'm a numerologist, but a lot of people start their journey for one reason or another at 17. Went into the military. I was in special forces. I was a regular person out of the 1950s.
Wow.
And while I had been in the military for a couple of years, then we started after 65, we were listening to Bob Dylan, the Beatles,
Right.
and all of this information. People were doing mind expanding drugs. And there was a lot of good underground newspapers and an explosion of consciousness. So I decided to get out. And that's what I did. So I got out in 68 and met some hippies and traveled to Haight Ashbury and went on another journey. And I've been into metaphysics since then. I met my first spiritual teacher in New Orleans in 68, several months after I got out of the military. So it started happening right away.
Yeah.
And then in the early 70s, I ended up in an ashram with Yogi Bhajan and got certified in Kundalini Yoga and have done a lot since then.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with me finally understanding my own numerology and what that indicated, because we all are trying to know ourselves, if that makes sense.
What ignited this change from going from a military to I want to expand and learn about who I am?
That's the best question, because I try to tell people we didn't have schools, we didn't have classes, we didn't have an infrastructure for this change. So when people say the Holy Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. The information, just like with a computer, where you put a little device on a computer and a bunch of information is downloaded. It was a celestial download.
Wow.
She
That's
kind of
nothing
became the
else.
device.
Yeah, that's something. This we're being a metaphysical principle is all beings exist within a larger being, and that's true for consciousness. So when that consciousness found that right frequency to expand, those of us that were tuned in, we expanded with it. That's the simplest explanation. It's like right now my TV is off, but all the
Mm-hmm.
channels are playing.
Right.
So all I have to do is tune into that frequency and the download happens. So those of us that for whatever combination of reason, personal reasons, were able to do that, we made that change. And within a couple of years, we learned more than people would learn going to college. We learned natural childbirth, organic gardening, um, healthy food, back to Mother Earth. We could go on and on. What we accept as a normalized environment today did not exist before that explosion. There
That
were no yoga
I
centers,
agree
there were
that.
no health stores to speak of.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like a lot of the things that we do now, they kind of go against the grain of what was natural. They've changed the way that we do everything, from our sleep cycles, like you said, our food, the type of music that we listen to,
The time you
frequencies.
get up in the morning,
Yeah,
time you go to
everything.
bed at night, everything.
Everything. It kind of feels unnatural.
It is. It's out. It is unnatural, and but the beautiful part about that is it's allowing us to remember what's natural, and to synthesize it with this technology that we have, because we don't
Yeah.
want to be living like four-legged animals.
Right.
We are human beings. We have our human intelligence. We can build these sophisticated tools, but we have to use them to help us live in a natural way. And I think a lot of us are starting to do that now
Yeah.
more
It's been a big
consciously.
change. It's been a big change in the last, even just like past few years that we've seen.
Yeah. And then, this is stuff we could talk endlessly about, but I've been listening to Bashar lately and some
Yeah,
other people.
he's one of my
And
favorites.
yeah, he says we're riding the rapids right now. And there is a window. And I've been watching this, I guess you call it a time sequence,
Mm-hmm.
but possibly we have till 2027 to allow for all of this to happen, and then the course is set in a lot of ways. And it's
2020.
been leading up to this. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden. This has been happening since the 60s. And then there was the harmonic convergence, which was 1111 back in the 80s, which was
Yep.
a wake up call. And then there was 2000, and then there was 2008, and then there was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been all these little, upgrades and reminders to get to this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
something disastrous to happen. That could happen in 2027. And so we're enjoying everything that we have now so that we can understand what's going to happen.
So then that means that we'll start January 2028 with something else. Maybe a whole
Yeah,
new
and
Hmm.
vibe.
when Bashar said that, what I found interesting, a numerologist, 2027 is an 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So each one of these years has a vibe to it. This is all frequency. Everything, like Tesla said, is vibration, frequency, energy. So what is this, 2025? That's a
Mm-hmm.
9 year. What we're supposed to be doing now, which is natural to do, is to let go of the past.
So we're finishing a cycle, right?
Yeah, let go of the sandbag so the balloon will go up.
That's a good way to
Fully
put it.
anchor up. So we see that happening in negative ways where things are from the past are being destroyed. And those of us that are conscious can do that in a conscious, uplifting way. But
Yeah.
that's what a 9 year is. And then next year will be a 1 year, which is new beginnings.
Hmm.
So it's not going to be like anything familiar. A lot of things will have changed.
Yeah.
We see that happening in our political system, federal government, economic system, etc.
Yeah. It's like it's getting all shaken up all
Yeah.
over the place.
It's yeah, yeah, which is they can make us fearful. But I was reading about the caterpillar and the chrysalis. That it dissolves itself to become the butterfly. So that's kind of what's happening to the human family.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go through this upgrade by dissolving who we were. We're not going to be who we were. We're not going to be Homo sapiens or something new coming.
Yeah. Or just be a better version of it at this point, I guess.
Well, it's going to be so new. We can't even really imagine it because if you look at the children today, you'll have a 16-year-old, I have a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like people were 20 years ago
No.
or 40 years ago. Their intelligence is different, much more different. Even the autistic ones
Yeah.
that children that we look at, there's an intelligence there that is profound.
That's true. I feel like they have like almost like a deeper connection with something that we don't understand sometimes.
They do, they do, absolutely. And Bashar talks about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about a little bit about your.
Steve says he thinks people are ready for a shift, and I agree with that.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Yes, Steve agrees. He's ready. Let's talk a little bit about your books. Tell us a little bit about. I noticed that when I met you 2 weekends ago, you had a series of different books that you had out on your table, and they were very
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to numerology, which is how I can frame things. I have a 5 in my chart. That's my first number. I was born in May, then a 22, then a 2, then an 11. The 22 is a person that can manifest an idea and turn it into reality that has an effect on the the big picture,
Mm-hmm.
the big group. 5 were communicators. I was living my life so fully that I never stopped to write about it. And now that I'm almost 80, something happened and I sat down and wrote 7 books.
Wow.
But the first one is this book on numerology to explain what I'm doing with my type of numerology. So it's something that people can tactile hold and open up to and refer back to.
I didn't know that was your book. I gave that book to Journey.
That you
Oh, yeah.
did?
Yeah, Journey knows that book.
No
That's
way.
probably
Uh-oh.
why she knows his
Uh-oh.
numerology. Because remember earlier today,
Okay.
she was doing his
Yeah, this thing
numerology.
is
Everything
Yeah.
is a synchronicity, not a coincidence.
Right.
Okay.
That's
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
That
And
was
then
about that was months
I'm
ago.
five and a half decades teaching Kundalini yoga,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about Daniel Brinkley a little bit before this at Body and Soul. Daniel, in his talk, talked a lot about the breath,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen this over the last couple of decades where someone could be talking about anything and they integrate breathing exercises and
Yeah.
some explanation about the breath. As someone that got introduced to this way back in early 70s, I understand it really well. The breath is our link to spirit.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah. And it's right there in front of us. Inspiration, aspiration, there's spirit right in the terminology. So I wrote a book on 7 breathing exercises.
That's fantastic.
And so that people can just look at the book, do the breathing exercises.
Yeah.
And I'm quoting Yogi Bhajan, who was my teacher. All meditation is meditation on the breath.
Yes. And the breath is
When we
it's
breathe,
something
we
that just
create.
moves and it moves through you, it moves in you. It's just it goes through every cell, every organ, everything. So you feel it deeply, especially when you pay attention to it. We kind of neglect ourselves sometimes by just ignoring how we breathe, you know? And sometimes you just got to take a
Sometimes,
minute
sometimes,
all the
99%,
time.
99% of the time, because we don't breathe. We're
Hmm.
being breathed. If we tried to breathe, we can't. But one day, and I watched this with my dad dying, the last exhalation leaves the body, you don't breathe.
Yeah.
And when you're born, you take that first inhalation. We're breathing with the eternal breath that is circulating through the trees, through the cosmos, and it's circulating through us and every cell of our body. And that gives me a chance for the people that aren't familiar with yoga, to introduce a term called prana.
Yeah.
Prana. Prana is life force, the life force of the atom. The majority of the prana that comes into our beings comes in through the breath. That's how important the breath is. 80% of the prana, which is the bell curve, comes in through the breath. So most of the time we're breathing very shallow. We're letting our thoughts dictate how we breathe. So what we have to do is retrain our breath by doing conscious breathing exercises. And that's why you've got Wim Hof and people teaching breathing and talking about breathing now. But you can do this, or anyone can do this. Again, just giving you all some the wisdom I've garnered over decades. In religious traditions, they say tithe 10% of what you bring into your from the universe.
Yeah.
If in a 24-hour day, 10% is 2.5 hours. If you spend 2.5 hours at peace with your higher self, with God, with your breath, whatever you want to think, however you want to think about it, that will inform your rhythm for the other 90% of the time.
Wow, I never thought
So
of it like that.
yeah, so we used to do that in 3HO and Kundalini Yoga. We do what we call sadhana for 2.5 hours, where you're conscious for 2.5 hours like that.
What is the difference between regular yoga and Kundalini yoga?
Kundalini Yoga, Yogi Bhajan said, um, it's like the jet plane. Like when you do Hatha Yoga, some Hatha Yoga schools and teachers will say, well, you got to go step by step until you're ready for this Kundalini energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yogi Bhajan came over here in the late 60s, like several other gurus and yoga teachers came over. And he looked at the situation and he said, we don't have time for that. Just
Oh.
like psychedelics. It wasn't like when we did psychedelics in the 60s, people didn't say, well, first you got to smoke cigarettes and you got to drink some alcohol, you got to take some speed, and then
Just
you got
go
to get
for
your
it.
body
Just go
ready
for
for it.
it.
Yeah, we just went for it because we can see what's happened since the 60s. There's been a massive change
Yeah.
in the culture. So that's what Kundalini yoga allows you to recalibrate your glandular system in a very dynamic way. And I was thinking about that today. Um, so many people that I know. I'm like I told you, I'm next to Hippocrates Health Institute.
Mm-hmm.
There's people within the institute there. There's very people with deep pockets that come here, and they can buy all kind of nutraceuticals and
Yeah.
technology. But what Jesus said was, "Are you ready?" And what that meant to me, when he said, when he did healing, "Are you ready?" That meant, can you raise your frequency to this level?
Mm.
If you can raise your frequency to this level, then that technology will work. If you don't, if you're not internally from within able to raise your frequency to that level, nothing from the outside is going to have that effect. So Kundalini yoga is the process of doing these kriyas to recalibrate your glandular system where it's functioning from the inside.
Wow. Do you have to be like a yoga expert to start with Kundalini? Like, do you have to already
No,
know?
that's what I'm saying, Yogi Ji, and that was that was taught to us when we became teachers. It's for everyone, and he was very clear about it. Yogi Ji was a very dynamic individual,
Mhm.
very exceptional, but he said yoga has nothing to do with flexibility. If it was about flexibility, circus acrobats would be the greatest yogis.
That's
A person in an iron lung, totally paraplegic or whatever, can
mhm.
do yoga because
That's
just what we were talking about.
that's very much how I do it.
Yeah, just laying there still. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's exactly right. As long as you can breathe and bring your breath into a, a good conscious harmony and rhythm and frequency, you're healing from the inside.
You talk a lot
But
about
if you jump around
frequency.
like a monkey, huh?
Yeah, I said you talk a lot about frequency. Do you feel that that is like one of the keys to, or multiple keys to letting yourself enter into this expansion and to awakening?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, what happens when we fall in love? Our frequency just goes way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
So it is all frequency. It's all energy. It's all light energy. I was listening to something Deepak Chopra the other night, and the scientists say 99.99998% of everything is space. The
Space.
material world occupies so very little. And what we call material is just light energy, the same light energy that's been slowed down to where we can have the sensory organs to interpret it.
You
So
know,
it's all energy and it's all frequency.
Leon, we always have a question that we ask everybody, and we didn't ask you yet. So, all of our guests, we're always very curious. That's why we started this. Is what do you consider
Enlightenment.
enlightenment?
Enlightenment,
Yes.
I think it's just exactly what it says, with light. It's about not what you can grab because it already exists, it's what you can let go of. So if you can let go of the barriers, then you become lighter.
Hmm.
When I had my yoga studio, I had a class card, a punch card, and it said the same energy when blocked, it creates disease, which is, separation from ease. That same energy when freed creates ecstasy. So we're living in an ecstatic universe. So enlightenment is basically letting go of the blocks that we have allowed to become part of who our being,
Kind of like those
our matter.
sandbags you were talking about
Right.
earlier, right?
Yeah. And that's where psychedelics came in because they were like, oh, you don't want to go in the pool? Well, psychedelics just pushed you into the pool. It's like somebody come on up behind you. You can't swim. Boom. Now you're in the river. Now you're swimming in this, higher state of consciousness. And for some people, that didn't work out too well.
Mm.
There's always
If
an
they're,
exception, right?
yeah, but for 80% of us, it worked out pretty well. And it worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, we're learning to let go of um, patterns of behavior that have been trained into us, into our ancestors, into the fabric of our consciousness. We're letting go of that now.
So, how do the numbers fit into this whole pattern? What?
Frequencies,
Yeah. What are
frequencies,
we doing?
absolute frequencies. And I don't have a way of measuring it. I'm doing it from an artistic viewpoint,
Hmm.
but one has a frequency. 2 has a frequency. Each one of the numbers up through 9 has its own frequency.
Yeah.
And they're what they call master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. 11 would be a 2, but at a higher frequency. And then 22 would be a 4 at a higher frequency. And the same with 33. And people ask me, why does it stop at 33? Because in the Tao Te Ching, not that that's the reason why, but it explains from the 1 comes the 2. From the 2 comes the 3. The pyramid, the triangle, the child, third dimension. And from the 3 comes everything.
Mm.
So once you have that basic building block of the universe, the triangle, then everything else comes. If you look at a geodesic dome or you look at the flower of life, it's a bunch of triangles.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it is frequencies, and that's what these numbers represent. They don't represent math or language, they represent geometric frequencies.
So we're going straight into the numerology numbers
Mhm.
and and we're doing science. That's what we're doing. So I want to try mine live. I'm willing to be a guinea pig here and allow my life to be put on a podcast. So,
Ah,
so let's do it. So you would need my birthday.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So my birthday is December 14th, 1979.
Okay, so let's do this like I've never uh, known you or have done your numerology. I don't know anything
Mm-hmm.
other than what you just told me.
All right.
All right. So it's December 14th.
Yep.
And what year?
79.
Okay. All numbers in the science are reduced to 1 through 9. This hasn't changed since Pythagoras. They reduce down to a single digit except for 11, 22, and 33. And each one of those numbers, 1 through 9, represent a specific geometric shape. And I'll show them to you. And once you understand this, it makes it's very logical, makes good sense. Let me open up this page. This is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can do it.
So a
And
dot, one. Okay.
yeah, you see the geometry on the side. So you've got the dot for 1, the line for 2, polarity, the triangle for 3, the box for 4, the pentagon for 5, uh, the 2 triangles, yin and yang, in balance for 6. 7 is completion, like 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 chakras, 7 days a week. It could go all the way back to 7 days of creation. And then 8 is the infinity sign, just like 8 looks.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 is total expansion. That's taking the circle, which was a dot at 1, and totally expanding it. So from that geometry is where we get our verbiage for the reading. So December is the 12th month. 1
Yes.
and 2 reduces to a 3. 12 would reduce to a 3. 1 and 2 is 3. The 14th, 1 and 4 is a 5. 1979, I believe, is an 8. 17 and 9. 26 is an 8. And I know this by decades. All the millennials that were born in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
it's one number beyond their year.
Oh.
They're like, if you're born in 1990, it's a 1. You're born in 1991, it's a 2, etc. People born in the 80s, it's the same number as that last digit. So if you're born in 1988, it's an 8. So you were born in the 70s, it's 1 digit less. So you were born in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
We could do it longhand. 1 and 9 is 10, and 7 is 17, and 9 is 26, 2 and 6 is 8. So then all numbers have a sum. So in your case, 3 and 5 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16. So your birth path number, the sum of this energy frequencies that you have is a 7. So I'll put that in the chart.
Is that like
And
my life path? Is that what people call my life path?
yeah,
The
and
7?
this is where, not to toot a horn or whatever, where the brilliance of what I've been able to do, is generally eclipses what most people understand about this,
Mm-hmm.
because what I understand about it is that this chart is based on 120 years.
Oh.
Why 120 years? The same way as saying, how long is the street in your neighborhood? What's the distance between Tampa and Fort Myers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, how long do the longest lived humans live? Between 115 and 125.
Yeah.
How many people today are writing books? I want to live to be 120. So 120 is a circumference. When you take that 120, and that's why I was able to make this chart, and you divide it into 4 directions,
Mm-hmm.
then you have 30, 60, and 90. And I recognize from astrology, those are your approximate Saturn returns. And then I knew from yoga that you have your 4 stages of life, youth, adult, senior, and elder. So the first half of the life up till 60 years of age, which is theoretically, again, talking in theoretical terms,
Mm-hmm.
when a woman goes through menopause
Mm-hmm.
between 55 and 65. And those of us that are males, Sean, that don't have that moon-centered time clock like women do, we start losing our potency,
Right.
Okay.
our virility at about that age. A lot of men don't know it, and all of a sudden they're 75 and they're like, what happened? What happened to my cup?
Who's
But
this guy?
you've been running out of gas, Bubba. So the first half of life is the incline up to 60. Second half of life's a decline. So I look at what the combined energy for the first half is and what it is for the second half. Even though that's not your numerology, it's like a halftime score
Mm-hmm.
in a ball game. So in your case, and the other thing I point out, Sean, because I don't know, you weren't there when we did this with Betty. Um, this is feminine energy. The creative energy in the universe is that Shakti, is what we call it in Kundalini Yoga, Shekinah energy. And is it practical? Yes, it's practical because Betty was born with eggs. We weren't.
Right.
She's going to create life. The masculine energy is necessary to provide containment so that and that's within every cell of our being. We're not just talking about a man and a woman. We're talking about the polarity of masculine and feminine energies. And the male energy provides containment and security so that that feminine energy can do its job, can create. So that's every cell of our bodies. And I got real silly with this. I was thinking about people that have cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody said, which is a form of disassociation on a certain level. You have to affirm and feel, however language you want to use. I got you, babe. You're okay. I got you. You're okay. You're going to be able to do what you got to do. You can function. And once you can reconnect with that, I think the cancer goes away because it's a disassociation. It's out of balance. So anyway, I wanted to point that out, that this is feminine energy, whether I do a male or a female. So Betty has a 3 in this first quarter. That's, again, it's not chronological. You're a whole soul, but it's describing the aspects. She's coming in with this 3 energy. Everything's on a spectrum. We're using that terminology now. This is the only prop I use.
Hey, ruler.
No ruler, because it measures from 0 to 100.
Right.
So coming in with this 3 energy on one end of the spectrum means that you had a lovely childhood. On the other end of the spectrum, you had a lousy childhood and you're a lovely person. Somewhere on the spectrum. But you're coming in, your grounding energy is sweetness. That's what 3 energy is. The child, the sweet, I call them sweethearts, because the triangle, like we said, is about growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the basic building block of the universe. So that 3 energy is about growth, creativity, problem solvers. And see, I love it when I have a mate close by when I'm doing a reading.
Yeah, you gave me a 9. What does that mean?
9 people, if you got a 9 in your chart, it's wonderful. and it's interesting.
You showed me the ruler. I'm already on to you.
Okay, that nine
Sweetness was the
energy.
3. Where's the 9?
Yeah, the nine is three times three. People with nine in their frequencies in their chart are people that want to let go of everything that is holding them back so that they can expand completely. And I saw this in Sedona. So if someone has whatever in their first quarter and the second quarter is a nine, I know that there were ancestral patterns that their family that they're aware of that they don't want anymore.
So
So
they're
that's
ready.
part of nine.
Clean house.
The other part
Yeah.
of nine, you all don't stay in bounds. So a person with nine energy, if they're not grounded, they escape into fiction, fan, because it's about expansion. So mind expanding drugs, fiction, fantasy, dreams. You know, I'm I'm the vampire. I'm a
I never thought I
zombie.
was a vampire, but I'm with you for the rest.
Yeah, but yeah, that I see that with that dreamy type of energy like that. So that could happen. That's when a person with nine energy is out of balance. So what would be out of balance for a person with three, like Betty? That's the child. So if she's in a fear state, like a child, she feels like she's being taken advantage of, whether it's in a relationship or in a job or whatever.
Mhm.
That would be the negative of the shadow side of three. Betty's second number is a five. That's the communicator. That's what you all are doing right now. Five
Hmm.
is that communicating energy, curious people, but also for you, Sean, that means that
I'm
she
still on
wants,
9 there.
yeah, Betty is hardwired for freedom.
Yeah.
She's hardwired to go. Um, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to watch this movie. Uh, I have. She can't be dictated to because like air and communication, it has to flow. So that's five energy.
He's learning that really quick too.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love doing women because women coming out of the patriarchy have been defined. The
Mhm.
little girls defined, oh, baby, you're supposed to act like this to be a little girl. You can't act like that. And then the wife and mother's defined. Oh, you
Mhm.
can't do that. You're a wife and a mother. This is how you're supposed to behave.
Right.
So now, when a woman goes through menopause, and this was very familiar to me when I had my yoga center, because most of my students, the core group were women in this age group, 55 to 65. They go through menopause and they go, you know what? Now it's about me.
Mm.
It's not about the little girl, the wife, and the mother. Now it's about my own soul's journey. And so it's interesting for them to look back at what their nature is and what their journey forward is. So, which in looking at Betty's numerology, the three and a five add up to an eight. She has an eight in the third quarter. So that's the only number that's duplicated. Eight's the infinity sign. That's energy that wants to flow infinitely. That means it overcomes all obstacles so that that energy flows infinitely for success. That also means what I just said, that there can be obstacles. There can be things to overcome. It could be relationship, financial, employment, health. I'll see people with eights in their charts and they'll have cancer that they have to overcome. So it just means that there's changes so that you can transform and become successful. Like some people, they don't care about being successful. Like the three energy, live and let live. The eight energy, get out of my way. No. When I was in England, I used the American term, put the bacon on the table.
Yeah.
So that's again why I like to have a person's husband or mate, when I do a female's chart, or vice versa, because they understand who this person is, not who they think the person is, but what their frequency is, like we were talking. And Betty has an eight in that third quarter. She wants to be successful. She wants to see what she's doing become successful. And that could be different for, totally different for everybody what success means. For some people, a comfortable bed. For some people, three houses.
Yeah.
For some people, a small business. For some people, a big business, but Betty definitely wants to be successful as she's building her life. And when she goes into this wisdom quarter of her life and this wisdom part of her consciousness, this adds up to a 7. We live in a septenary universe. I wouldn't have known that word if I never would have gotten into numerology.
I don't know
And
that word.
Yeah, that's a crazy word. I'll never use it again, I promise. But I don't use it in everyday speech. But what it means is what we were talking about earlier. Things are in steps of 7, and then they hit a completion. So the most obvious is right there in the beginning of the Bible, 7 days of creation.
Yeah.
7 chakras, 7 colors in a rainbow. You can't make it 8, you can't make it 6. It's 7 colors. So with you having a birth path number of 7, where this journey leads up to a 7, that means your life now becomes fulfilled when you feel like you are a wise woman, when you feel like you have attained spiritual wisdom. And it's an interesting number to encounter when you don't have a 7 in your chart like me, because they're very intuitive people. Very, very intuitive people. They want the truth.
Yes. Always,
And
even
they
if
have
it's bad.
feeling. So, those are like the 5 energy is a little different. Like my 5 energy, I'm a player. We like to have fun. Play around with someone with the 7 energy, and they're going to say, you're two-faced, you're not, giving me the truth, whatever. They know it right away. So you've got a nice combination. And I look at this, because this is my, something that I created, my creation. The 5 is morphing into the 7. The 3 is morphing into the 8. So that childlike innocence is directed more and more towards wanting success in your life.
Yeah.
The 5 energy about, let's try a bunch of different things and be really curious is now directed at becoming spiritually astute.
Oh, wow. You
So
kind of
that would
you see
show
the
how
growth
that
in it. Yeah. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then
So-
if you look at the second half, like the first half, 3 and 5 added up to an 8, which
that 9 is the life one.
Yeah,
The bottom
that's
quarter?
in the last. So you've got 3 9s in your chart.
Yeah.
2 9s in the second half and a 9 completion. What that means is that you want to feel like you have let go of everything that is keeping your spirit bound.
That's fair.
Way. Yeah. And that's really a beautiful thing. The 9 people too are very generous, open people, because they want that experience. They want that expansion. So they're humanitarians, they're globalists. For you, Sean, that means, you could travel, you could try many different types of jobs. You really want to experience a lot. And you have a healthy appetite.
Yeah.
The first word that I put down for the 9 energy is more.
Yeah.
And that can go carnal. It can go.
Yeah. More expansion, experience,
Usually it's
humanitarian,
more. Yeah,
charming,
depending
generous,
on
tolerant.
how a person, yeah, what direction a person's going. It could go spiritual. It could go carnal, but it's more. Coming out of the 60s, I understood it really well. So yeah. And then Betty's second half adds up to a 6. 7 and 8 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6. So again, this completes the picture because the 6 people want to do good in the world. So that says that this accomplishment and that Betty has to accomplish something is about making the world a better place.
I love it. Yes.
Whether it's a doctor, a nurse, a therapist, a musician, it doesn't matter. It's the 6 is the 2 triangles in balance. People with a 6 are trying to bring wholeness back to the world, to themselves and to the world. Now, like I said, you can look at the shadow side. Shadow side of 3, everybody treats me like a child. I'm always being taken advantage of. Shadow side of 8, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to create chaos.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I'm going to scream. I'm going to
Yeah. I've seen all of that. I've seen all of that.
I'm
Nobody's
sure.
talking to you, Sean.
I'm not talking about nobody, Betty.
It's 2 o'clock in
shadow
the
side.
morning. We're not getting Sundays. Oh, geez.
That's right. I didn't get what I wanted last night. Sunday morning's hell.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Why do you hate me? Like, why don't you love
the,
me?
the five energy, and I have that too, will start more things than we finish, and we're forgetful.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get more, we get really overextended. Shadow side of the seven, if you're not respected for your wisdom, you become mysterious and keep secrets. So you can tell when this is manifesting in your behavior by whether you're feeling loved or whether you're feeling fearful.
Really?
In the shadow side of six is real interesting because it's about total balance and harmony. So the only way it's out of balance is when it thinks that there's perfection outside of themselves.
Huh.
They project that outside, like, oh, I thought he was a perfect husband. I thought that was a perfect
I
job.
was.
I thought, yeah,
What are you trying to get me
yeah.
into, Leon? Come on.
Nothing's perfect.
Yeah, okay.
You only try and make your life balanced, but don't assume anything else is going to be. So that gives us, a good picture of Betty, where this is a person that nature is very sweet. She wants to, check a lot of very curious person, but also this is where women can get misunderstood. Inside, there's a high achiever,
Hmm. All
and
right.
yeah. And so, oh, baby, I thought we were just having fun. No, really, I'm serious. We're going to get this business built. We're going to get this thing done.
We're going
So
to get
that's
to
that
it.
high achiever that wants success in life. And that'll flip people out sometimes when they're not ready for it. Another word that I've put with this eight energy, I was just looking for it, powerhouse.
Yeah.
A powerhouse. So there's that aspect of Betty, the powerhouse. And then her whole goal is we're going to leave this, mortal life. We don't take anything with us. She wants to feel like she has gained complete spiritual wisdom through
I
this journey.
I love this. Yeah. I feel like this is really like me, what you're talking about. I feel all
Yeah,
of it.
that's all. Yeah, and it's your higher self because you come in, and again, this is getting into that esoteric language, which I'm not going to prove or disprove. But they say that when we come into this life, we have a contract to fulfill
Yeah.
that we've made coming into this life. So that three energy saying, okay, this is that energy in the first quarter that I have that's gonna make this possible. The five is the end in the second quarter. This is the energy I have to build that reality for myself that's going to fulfill that promise. The eight energy in your third quarter is that energy that you have to reflect and to make adjustments. So I would say, Sean, with her having an eight in that third quarter, it's like if she hasn't seen the success she
Well,
wants,
that's
she's going to
that's
get
after
even
that's after 60,
more.
right?
Yeah,
So
she's going
I'll
to get
probably
even
trade her
more.
in around 47.
Stab it.
Well, that's what we
Yeah.
do. I'm on my third marriage right now,
I'm about to be
that
on my
means
fourth if he continues.
Yeah.
that means
One
she's
per
going to really
quarter.
yeah, she's gonna tune it. She's gonna tune it so she can be successful if it hasn't happened. And but that success I can see, Betty, is something that's going to help the world. That's good for the world, not just oh well, look how many Ferraris I got in the garage type of thing, but how many
Oh,
souls you've saved, how many people you've reached with wisdom,
I
that
love
kind
it.
of thing.
That is absolutely my end goal is
Yeah.
to be as close
And
to
so
that as
it's
possible.
interesting because I'm not psychic, I'm not reading poems, but because of this tool that I've created, I can come up with something that generally has been 100% accurate.
Can you tell between both of our numerology, between Sean and I, how like if are we a good connection? Does this work?
Well, that's
That's a good
where
question.
I think the truth is that you can take a job or enter in a relationship, have a child, whatever, and you can look at it and go, oh, oil and water.
Mm-hmm.
we, we can synthesize everything by being in our higher self, which is all inclusive, all love. So that it mean what you can see is where things can present differences.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Sean, where he has a lot of nines, Sean's going to be able to let go of things that you may be intense about, so that could complement you. Or on the other, depending on how you respond to it, it could be like, I'm not playing. It's
Yeah.
not going to something that's going to happen eventually in the future. Don't worry about it. I want it on the table now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you
So it
balance
depends
each
on
other
the
out.
yeah, so yeah. I mean, my second marriage was with a Pisces. I'm a Gemini. It wasn't supposed to work out. Um, it happens for we're not in any kind of marriage or loving relationship like that, a
Mm-hmm.
romantic relationship, if there's not a purpose for it to happen. Because if
Makes
we're
sense.
not compatible in some way, we're just people that are just what do they call it? Ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
The ships passing in the night, and then all of a sudden, one person, there's a magnetic connection. And that allows for me to use this poetic line. We do not seek love, love seizes us.
Hmm.
My third marriage is to a woman 45 years younger than me.
Well, look at you.
You go.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful young woman. So a lot of men will say to me, how do you do that? And I look at them like, and I got to tell them, I said, look, dude, if a 60, 70-year-old man chases a 20-year-old girl down the street, it's not going to work. Not
Mm.
going to work at all. But if and the woman, the feminine energy always magnetizes the masculine energy. The feminine energy chooses the male to fulfill what she has to
I told you
fulfill.
chased me down.
Stop.
Yeah, that she wants to create in her life. So that's the way that works.
Yeah.
Um,
So Leon, we got about 4 minutes left here before we have to cut the stream. Can you tell these
okay.
guys where they can find you and where they might be able to get
Yeah.
readings from you, where they can come see you?
Yeah, well, I'm in South Florida now, West Palm, lecturing at Hippocrates. I go to Spirit Fest events every Thursday at Dancing Elephant in Fort Worth. But the easiest way is Instagram,
Okay.
and that my Instagram page is at my name at Leon Bowski, and I do have a website that's like a dinosaur because I haven't done much with it, called Sacred Geometry Numerology, but there's a contact page there. And
Okay.
then my phone number is on my card there too, if we
You got his
are in
card?
America.
I'm
Yes.
gonna put it in the chat.
I've got his card here, and it's really simple too, because you don't have to come with a whole lot of information. When I sat down at the table with him, and we just basically did exactly what we did in here, and just got deep into what these numbers mean and why they show up for you. And you would be surprised because after everybody saw me with my little blue paper, they're like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "That guy over there." So they were all going over there and getting it, and I'm like, "Let me know if it's accurate when you come back." And they were like, oh man, that was mind blowing. Like that, yeah, this is me. So I wasn't the only one that had that experience. I feel that everybody that kind of came back to report was having the same exact experience that I was. So that is, hey, the numbers don't lie. Yeah.
Yeah, I will share this real briefly. When I did Body and Soul, a woman cried when I
Wow.
did her numerology, and I've had that happen several times. But it is really accurate. It'll explains your higher self. It does not explain whether you want to get chocolate or vanilla ice cream.
You're gonna go deeper than that.
Yeah, nothing there. But yeah, it's very helpful because are we're entrusted with our lives to fulfill the mission that we have in our life.
Yeah. That's deep. I
No
like that.
accident that we were created. So this is when we look at this as sacred geometry, it's how God or the one is experiencing itself through us. And as we fulfill our dharma, our nature, then that's how the one experiences itself. And that's what we're reflecting back to creation, to each other.
Do you recommend this for people to do it for their children? I feel like this will tell you a little bit more about their personality, and maybe it'll be helpful because sometimes you do have that one kid that's a little, you know, extra. And you
Well,
kind of
yeah, I
figured
think
that
it's
out.
very helpful. Yeah, no, I think it's entirely necessary, just like Ayurveda is. I don't know if you're all familiar with Ayurveda, but you have three doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So if you have a Kapha child, they're going to behave in a slow, sluggish way.
Hmm.
If you have a Pitta child, they're very fiery and they can lose their balance quickly. If you have a Vata child, which you and I have that five energy,
Hmm.
these are people that are very airy, they're quick moving, they're changeable, mercurial. So in one family, you can have all different types of children, doshas. I had three chihuahuas out of the same litter, three chihuahuas, they're dogs. One was kapha, one was pitta, and one was vata. And their behavior was absolutely different. So that's why those of
Yeah.
us that have multiple children in our families, we already know that not even two of those children behave the same.
Right. Yeah, they're completely different. That's
Yeah.
true.
And I've done identical twins, Betty, and identical twins don't behave the same.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions, Sean?
I do not. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I am so happy that we got to talk to you. I'm actually very happy that I got to meet you, first of all. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. You're going to be at the Spiritual Fest in Sarasota. So we're going to come visit you.
I'm ready. And
I-
thank you all so
So,
much.
Thank
God bless
you.
absolutely. We'll see you guys on. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
you.
So
Already.
stick around, guys. His information's on there. So make sure that you reach out to Leon and he will help you out with your numerology. And it's totally worth it. I highly recommend it.
We are the seekers, barefoot and wide-eyed, with hands to the sky and questions inside. We follow the whisper, the ache in our bones, not for answers but to feel we're not alone. This is the journey, not a map but a spark. We walk the unknown with wide open hearts, sharing the moments, the shift and the sign, so you don't have to walk it alone this time.
We try the old ways, the breath and the flame. We sit with the silence, we call it by name.
This is the journey, not a map but a flame.